All right, everybody. Welcome back. We're here in Dubai, India.
Indeed, yep,
And,
we are definitely in Dubai, India.
We're trying to find our way back home. We don't know where the fuck it's at.
I think we went the wrong direction. I started to go the right direction, I think, and somebody turned me around. So we found this obsidian bed, so we were hoping that just going in another portal and coming back out of it will take us back to our home nether portal.
I think it did. Yeah, this is our home portal.
Okay, I figured it would probably work because we shouldn't be that far away from home. Ah, there we go.
Hope that didn't relink. Okay, it didn't. Good. We did it.
We made it. So now I gotta get rid of all this stuff out of my inventory. So I went to a restaurant this weekend. I know, it's fancy. So I want to talk to you about my experience at this place and kind of it really threw me off after the fact because we went to this place and we have the baby and everything, and it was for somebody, one of our friends met this very nice some type of mental disorder guy.
They met a very nice some type of mental disorder.
Yeah, he's got some type of mental disorder. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that he's like, you know, slow, if he has like officially has like autism or something like that. Older guy. He's just turned 49 or 59 years old. She met him on a bus one day on the metro, and he just struck up a conversation with her. He was nice, so she was talking to him, being nice, and they ended up becoming like kind of friends, where she like takes him out for dinner like once every couple weeks or something like that, just to, you know, be nice. He lives in like this group home, a very nice like gesture type of deal, and they've, you know, become close over the years, and we've recently been introduced to this guy, and we invited him over when we have parties that she's going to be at and stuff. He'll come over and hang out for a little while. He doesn't drink or anything. He just comes, hangs out, says hi to people, like, you know, gets out of the house, and she sends him in an Uber back home. So really cool guy, cool concept, just, you know, nice overall thing to do. But it was his 59th birthday, so she wanted to take him out and have all the people that he's gotten to know throughout the last like couple of years knowing her for this birthday dinner. So we go to this restaurant. It's this nice seafood restaurant on the Potomac, and we're there, a couple people, this guy, our friend, me, my wife, the baby, and first thing that we do is we order a round of drinks for everybody who's drinking, and it's one of those restaurants that the waiter is a different person than the person who actually brings out the food most of the time, for food and drinks. It's like the waiter's just there to be a waiter, and like this other person brings out, you know, all the stuff that you ordered. And this woman shows up with our first round of drinks, and you can tell, I don't know if she's new or if she's just uncomfortable handling a big tray of drinks or what, but I was at the end. She's passing out drinks to everybody, and I'm watching her holding this tray, and I just know that the way she's leaning over the side of the table to get to these people, I know there's one of these drinks is about to spill. And I look, and of course I see this beer just start to turn over and start to like trickle down the tray and splash me in the lap, and I kind of try to move back real quick to get out of the way and avoid it, but you know, it was all for naught, and the drink splashing down straight on top of me, like straight on top of my chest, my pants, like a full beer just spills all over me. And in my process of jumping back as well, my knee kind of went out and kind of hit her in the leg. And my immediate reaction was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. And you could tell she was super embarrassed. And she was like, no, it's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. And I'm like, yeah, you know, no big deal. Don't worry about it. And I just grabbed some like the cloths that were on the table and started like wiping my leg.
You needed a towel, but you got some cloths. Okay.
Well, it was the towels. It was like the napkins, you know, type of deal that were on the table, and they were the cloth napkins, so it was a little bit more helpful. So I'm wiping myself off, and the waiter looks, and he's like, "Oh my god, dude, you know, I'm so sorry." It was like this guy waiter that was trying to be all like buddy with everybody, you know, making his tip. He was a nice guy, and I was like, yeah, you know, whatever. I said, look, we've got the baby here. You think this is the first time I've ever had like a drink spilled on me by anybody? And we're all like laughing and having a good time. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, I'm laughing off the fact that I am soaked in beer right now. I personally don't care, but I'm thinking, okay, this is going to come back. We're going to get some, like, a free appetizer, free drinks, you know, discounted meal, something for, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're soaked. Your night's pretty much ruined.
Yeah, and I could not have gone anywhere else after this. There is no way I could have gone anywhere. I was literally soaked with beer. And
I have a feeling the story doesn't end with in a good way.
Well, it ends in it's very strange because we continue on with the meal. We get the meal. Food's kind of mediocre. It was really, you would be really upset with this, or maybe you can explain to me the difference. The girl next to me wanted the scallops because there was one of the dishes on the menu was scallops of some type, and she asked, "Are these bay scallops or sea scallops?" And I'll be honest, I don't know the difference enough in scallops.
I guess there's going to be a flavor difference if they're bay scallops versus sea scallops, just because of the water. And, you know, scallops are one of those type of things that filter the water they're in. So you're going to have a different taste.
You've never, like, eaten the differences to know, like, are they different size? Do they look different? Like, because I have no idea.
No, like, diver scallops are the ones that, you know, you get that are the big scallops.
They're called diver scallops?
Yeah, the diver sea scallops, because they're, I mean, a diver actually goes down and picks them up, basically. It's not something that's just like from a farm or whatever. There's a man that gets them.
There's a man. It could be a woman
or a woman, a man or a woman. There's a diver.
So the question that she asked was, she's like, "How many scallops come in the scallop dish?" And he goes, "Oh, it's by weight. It's either 2 or 3." And she goes, "Well, are they sea scallops or bay scallops?" And he's like, "Oh, no, they're sea scallops are the big ones. You know, the big sea scallops." And she's like, "Oh, good, because I didn't want the bay scallops. I really like the sea scallops better because I don't like the little teeny, you know, bay scallops." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know the difference between them. I feel like I'm learning something new."
Yeah, like, you know how, like, you know how small, like normally you get those, like, if you're like Olive Garden, you get scallops in a dish. Those are the bay scallops.
I guess I've never gone to Olive Garden and got.
Oh, it's an Olive Garden, Red Lobster. I don't know what's an Olive Garden.
I've also never gotten scallops at Red Lobster, but that makes more sense to me. Like, to say that that's
yeah, you know, the Olive Garden.
But I'm thinking the ones, like, if I circle my thumb and my finger together and then widen it a little bit, those are what I normally see as a circle of a scallop.
Right. Yeah, those are the size that she was wanting, I'm assuming.
Oh, and I would assume that as well. And he's like, "Oh, no, these are the big scallops or the sea scallops, you know, blah, blah, blah. You'll be very happy with this." I'm not kidding. When this dish comes out, they were probably half an
like
inch
a dime.
Yeah, like a little bit bigger than a dime, and there was 3 of them. And I was like, "That's like," and she even like looked at it and kind of looked at him and goes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you'll enjoy it," and he like walked away, and she's like,
"Will I?
This is exactly what I didn't want." He's like, she's saying this to me. She's like, "This is exactly what I didn't want." That's why I was asking like what the scallops were going to be. So my wife gets some type of fish. I don't remember what fish it was. And when it came, she goes, I'm like aimlessly running around because I don't really know what to do back here at the home base.
I'm just throwing chicken eggs.
And she goes, "Do you think it's a bad thing if I send back?" It was like a $30 like fish dish or whatever. And she's like, "You think it's a bad thing if I send this back only for the fact that the menu specifically says crispy skinned fish and this skin is just soggy?" And I was like, "Well, probably not. Like, if they say crispy skinned fish, like, that's what people are wanting out of it, is crispy skinned fish."
Yeah.
And so,
how many people were in your party, by the way?
6.
Okay.
It wasn't like, we weren't like a party of like 30 people like there.
Right, yeah. Like 15, 20 or whatever, then I was thinking that might have got started or warmer and the skin got uncrispy. Yeah, but okay.
There was 6 plus the baby. So you could
no excuse.
7 if you wanted to call it 7. And so when the waiter comes back over, she says something to him about, "Hey, I kind of was hoping this dish had like the crispy skin, like the menu said. I really wanted the crispy skin, and the skin is really soggy." And he was like, "Yeah, it's soggy," and like walked away.
What?
And yeah,
it is.
I am not kidding. He walked away, and we were like, kind of, what the fuck? Like, is that happening here? And that was the end. We never heard a single thing. He never came back to the table until we asked him for the bill. Wow. We never heard a single thing about the fact that beer was spilled all over me. She's trying to send back this dish of fish because it doesn't have the right skin on it or the properly prepared skin on it. He doesn't say a word and kind of laughs it off as if it's nothing. The whole sea scallop issue. And this was not like a cheap restaurant.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't sound like it. $30 for a meal. I'm surprised Julia, but knowing Julia, I'm surprised she didn't get up and move and make things happen.
Well, honestly, I think the reason why she didn't was because the baby started to get fussy. So baby got fussy, and outside they had these like fountains and stuff that were like the ground fountains that go up that you can like run around in and stuff. So she kept taking him out there to run around in the fountain, and she kept talking about how soaking wet he was, but he was just kind of like damp. I took him out in the fountain a little bit later, and I mean, we ran around in the fountain, and we came back in, and she was actually really mad because of how soaked we both were. And we were soaked. Like,
I was about to say, you were already soaked. You were just washing off some of the beer.
That's true. I was just rinsing. But like that's what we went out and like so he kept getting fussy like sitting in the restaurant, so we kept taking him outside to do stuff. And I think that's the only reason that she, didn't get up and make a bigger deal out of it. But we got home and I'm not the type of person to like. Did
you Yelp him?
No, I mean we probably could Yelp them, but I don't. Did Yelp reviews even matter anymore? Don't they only matter for people if they've never been to a place before and they're curious what other people think, as opposed to just like a local restaurant that. I don't know. I feel like I only use Yelp when we're like on vacation and we're looking for a place.
But people vacation in DC a lot. You could have saved a man.
I guess that's true. I do forget that aspect because I live here. That this is a very prominent place for people to vacation. But as a restaurant person, like food service industry person, both fast food and the restaurant industry, I guess I was more baffled by the lack of even trying because it's not like he just said no, it wouldn't do anything. It's just he kind of conveniently snuck himself out of the situation.
Right? It's like, oh, that shit sucks. Bye.
Yeah. It kind of made it so he was inaccessible again after that. And I'm sure a lot of the comments are going to be like, oh, I wouldn't have put up with that. I would have pushed it. And yeah, we probably should have. But I honestly,
how'd you tip him?
I just very average, but still tip. Very average. It was like
15%,
20%.
Jesus Christ, that's not average. That's above average.
Actually, it was a little less than 20 because I think Julia and myself and the baby. Granted, the baby we always get like a little side of something for the baby, like that he can eat. I think our bill with all our drinks and everything came to like $110, and it was a $20 tip. So it was less than 20%. But
you tipped it more than I would have based on your story.
I mean, and I probably tipped it more than I should have, but I also have a hard time not tipping people in the food.
These are the occasions. These are the times when you finally, because you do all the good tipping. These are the times you're allowed. It's you've built up your tip karma, and now you gotta spend it.
I'll be the biggest thing that I think threw me off about this, and maybe this is just me being biased because it happened to me, but I can get trying to skirt away from letting somebody finalize their complaint about wanting a different dish to, kind of, oh, I didn't realize you were trying to ask for another fish. I'm sorry about that, type of deal. You could really pull that off if you really wanted to. Oh, I consider those big bay scallops or big sea scallops. I can see that. The fact that I was literally, and she didn't spill a little bit of drink on me. The whole drink dumped on top of me.
Whatever happened to her? Did you never see her again?
Never saw her again. I think she was too embarrassed to come back to the table. And I'm not mad at anybody for this at all. Like, it happens. I get it. I'd be more happy that it happened to me than somebody who was going to go insane and start yelling at you about a mistake that will happen when you're in the restaurant industry. Like, no big deal. It didn't end my life. It didn't end my evening. Like, I was going to go home after this anyway. It's not a big deal. But for nothing to even get said about that after the fact. Not a single drink knocked off the bill.
Right.
And
then you tipped the man over 20%.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking at the time.
Wow. They really wrecked you guys. They probably laughed about it later.
I would agree. I mean, they might have. He probably was just like, I can't believe how much we got away with. And they're in the back, like tallying up, like.
Yeah, they had a fucking bingo board back there.
It was like waiting the movie, the restaurant, the game, or whatever. Wait, have you ever had like service? That
I mean, I am sure I have. I don't. Nothing's coming to mind. What you reminded me of is whenever I was a busboy at Shoney's. Like I was a side bartender at Shoney's at this time, and they asked me if I'd come in one morning to be the busboy, and I said I would. And so they didn't normally have busboys, basically. So this was like a, we're gonna try this thing sort of thing. And I had this whole big bin of dishes where I'd bust like 4 or 5 tables. And I slipped and dropped the whole bin. A plate flies out, shatters, and this shard of glass goes into this man's leg, and he just starts bleeding like a fucking waterfall. Like he must have been on like something that thins his blood, and he was dying basically. And like I don't know what they gave that man, but he basically almost died in the middle of Shoney's. He was just blood everywhere all of a sudden.
That's a little intense.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Sure
I dumped a whole pitcher of water on someone one time. I don't think he died. I mean, as far as I know, I haven't killed a man. I remember him being like, he was like you. He's like, oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. No big deal.
I'm just dying. That was just the blood leaving his body.
No, don't call the ambulance. I want to die.
I've lived a good life, Sonny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, as far as I know, everything worked out with him, but it was.
But you spilled a whole pitch of water on somebody? Oh, it was this one.
Yeah, that was when I worked at Southern Junction when I was a bar back, and I was helping the waitress by bringing out big trays of water, and I had a whole tray of like water and dumped just on top of this old woman's head, just right on top of her, like she'd had her perm done and all that. The big poofy white haired old woman, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucked her up. And
that was on purpose, right?
No, I felt real bad about that too. But in both of these occasions, I just ran away immediately.
So you did what the chick did. You were like, peace.
I mean, I was a kid, I mean, I don't know how old she was. I mean, when I worked at Southern, I was like 13, so I mean, I wasn't prepared for that. I know what to do. Fuck, that's all I can do. I used to have to grind the meat. Yeah, I did.
Grind the meat.
Like it was a bar and steakhouse. I think I've told you about this place before. Like it was a pretty cool steakhouse where you could either cook your own steak. We had these huge charcoal grills, where like you could have like 100 people up there cooking steaks at the time. It was massive. And then there was also like a snack bar on the other side of the bar. So we broke down all our like half racks of cow or whatever for all the steaks, and so then we would grind our own hamburger meat. And I remember I got it in my head that I could make the hamburgers better, and so I started like seasoning the inside of all the hamburger patties or hamburger balls, because they were I was basically balling these hamburgers, and then they would patty them out whenever they would cook them. I don't know whatever came of that. I'm sure it wasn't a good thing, but I'm sure people were probably drunk too. But I'm sure some people got some very salted seasoned hamburgers for a while there, because I was just thinking I was doing this. I mean, it might have been great. People might have been like loving the hamburgers for all I know, but
people were coming back time and time again going, well, why did you change your hamburger recipe?
Yeah, why are they no longer seasoned? Yeah. I thought I was doing God's work.
I mean, you might have been. You just don't know.
Yeah. Don't know.
I'm trying to separate out some of our chests a little bit.
Yeah, they have gotten kind of messy, honestly.
A little bit.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've had lots of bad service. Nothing. I mean, it's been a while since I've had any bad service that comes to mind. I'm sure we've gone. Honestly, the things that come to mind is every fucking curse dinner I've ever been to. Curse dinner advice you guys to a dinner and say no. Cursed dinner.
Oh, cursed dinner. Yes. I do know that you had a problem with cursed dinners.
And what's so wild about this, one of them was at Fogo de Chao. And
how do you have a bad dinner at Fogo de Chao?
Yes, I had an awful dinner at Fogo de Chao. Like, sadly, we got there after everyone had already started eating. We were like 10 minutes, 20 minutes late. So we weren't part of the first like rush of meats that came out. Mm-hmm. And we had to sit in the back. And I kept begging, can I please get someone to bring me some meat? I left there hungry.
I don't even know how that's possible. And I swear to God. Did you tip there? Or did you even pay?
No, I didn't know. It was curse dinner.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I wonder if the whole thing was slightly different because of it being such a big grouped dinner as well.
Right. Like I think they thought that they had served everyone, but I kept telling people like, "What do you want?" And I'd be like, you know, just everything. Bring me one of everything.
Anything you show up with, I will take right now.
Yeah. I remember basically me and Ray just started ordering white sangria, and that's all. I left there drunk, but not full. We went and got food after we left.
That is just insane to happen at Fogo de Chao. Especially, like, I don't think there's any reason you should ever leave there hungry, because no matter what, they have a phenomenal salad bar. But I understand. I don't want to.
I did go to the salad bar quite a bit, but I wanted meat, and I was
I get you there. That's where I think Fogo de Chao is smart in what they do, is because their salad bar is so good. I tend to fill myself up on the salad bar and not get as much meat as I want when I pay that much money. And when I'm going there, I want meat. That's why I don't like Texas State Brazil as much, because Texas State Brazil does not have nearly. They have a good salad bar. It's a good salad bar. It is not a phenomenal salad bar. So I can refrain from it. They have lobster bisque, which is the one thing that I really kept going back for. But the salad bar itself,
That year we had the party in Florida at the bowling alley. I had flown down to Florida to see the bowling alley and pay them ahead of time and all that other bullshit. And I went to there was a Brazilian steakhouse within walking distance of my hotel. And so I went, and that is the worst Brazilian steakhouse. The salad bar didn't exist, basically, and the meat they brought out was like overcooked, and it was awful. And actually, me and Doc went to a Brazilian steakhouse. I'd forgot about this when we were in L.A. recently, and it was another one of those you got to prepay. It was like $60. It was right there near Universal Studios. In fact, I think it was in the like Universal City or whatever the fuck it's called. You know what I'm talking about, right? The
I've only been to L.A. for.
Well, it's a Universal. Orlando has it too. The City Walk, I think it's called.
Oh,
like
okay.
You know what I'm talking about, like the area right outside. What are these villagers doing? What are these men doing? Oh, you let them out. Let them free.
I should have covered the holes back up. I actually did that because I wanted them to walk by you and have you freak out thinking that the village was open. I should have covered those holes right back up so that you wouldn't have known.
Yeah. No, I mean, it did freak me out though. Like,
be like, did you leave another block over there?
But yeah, that one me and Doc went to was awful too. And like BWO and his brother were supposed to meet us there, and they ended up getting there like an hour after we got there. We were like, don't buy it.
You're like, just go to McDonald's, I swear.
Yeah.
What do you think about Mongolian barbecues?
That's the one where you get the bowl of shit and you give it to them, and they put it on the. I love those. We actually ate at one of those. My daughter and I, like, we saw the movie last weekend. So yeah, it's been a week.
Like, was it the traditional chain BD's Mongolian barbecue?
No, it's just one that's in Cary here. I don't know what it's called. It's just Mongolian Grill, I think actually is the name of it.
My first experience I had with one of these was BD's Mongolian Barbecue, which is the chain restaurant of Mongolian barbecues. They opened one up near my in Flint, and I went there and I was like just amazed at how good it was. I've been to multiple different Mongolian barbecues since then, and like all like the staple, like we are the original Mongolian barbecue, never as good. Which I find kind of crazy.
What are they missing that the place you were talking about had?
They just don't have flavor. Whatever they do, however they cook it.
You flavor the food. That's your job.
Well, their sauces are different. So the one place that I went here in DC, instead of having like Mongolian has all those like really thick sauces and like 30 of them to choose from. This other place that we went in DC that's this really popular, you know, all-you-can-eat Mongolian barbecue place. And it's not it's pretty reasonably priced too. I think it was only like $19 or something a person. So for DC, that's, you know, all you can eat. That's fantastic. But it's oils. It's like this little oil table that has flavored oil type things. So it's a little like
like sesame oil, olive oil,
come in there,
garlic
and
oil.
The first one I had, I was like, I don't know what oils, like what of these flavors would be better in here. And he's like, oh, I got you covered. And he did his like little concoction that everybody likes the best, and it was like flavorless. And I was like,
and there wasn't like powders and stuff like garlic powder.
Nope, no
ginger.
powders. Just I think there might have been some actually minced garlic was one of the things that was there, but it was like all these oils and then minced garlic, and it was just not good, and I was very disappointed. And I went up for a second bowl and tried to make one myself, and it was still just as flavorless. I don't know if the oils were just Like it's cheap.
So I mean, the place I go has all the oils like you're talking about too, like garlic oil, sesame oil, all the oils, but also has like like sweet and sour, teriyaki, soy sauce. So, I mean, there's tons. I can't think of all of them. I mean, I put a lot of sesame oil in the stuff I cook, so I mean, I'd use some of the oils for sure. But it also has like all the seasonings, like lemon pepper, salt. Garlic, ginger.
I want to say there was none of these, but at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, that doesn't make sense that there was none. I wonder if there was a section that I just bypassed and didn't realize that there was like a powdered section somewhere to get those powders.
Get some more seasonings.
I guess that's a good possibility.
Have you ever been to teppanyaki in DC?
No, it doesn't sound familiar either.
All right, I was just curious.
What is it supposed to be?
It's Asian food. This girl I've been dating.
This Asian food, just
well, I mean, so I got a bunch of pictures over the weekend because she went to go visit her kids there in DC, and she kept sending me pictures, and everything looked amazing. So it's like I want to go there.
Did she say where it was at by chance?
It's on the outskirts of DC, is all she said. So I don't know exactly.
But it was in DC, or was it like? And that's the sad thing about living in the
I don't
DC
know.
metro area is when you say the outskirts. A lot of times that actually means outside the DC boundary,
right,
into
like Virginia,
Northern
or some
Virginia,
shit,
or Southern Maryland area, or something like
right.
that. Which there's great restaurants and stuff that way, but saying the outskirts of DC has a different meaning.
Let me just. You know what? I got the internet.
I don't. I play this on a local connection somehow. Connected to Discord. Locally.
Hey, there's one in North Carolina. Shit. If I don't know if it's the same chain or whatever, but So teppanyaki is a type of food, apparently.
Oh, was there? Do you know if the restaurant was actually called teppanyaki?
That's what she kept referring to it as. So, but I don't know. Yeah, Teppanyaki Grill, Washington D.C. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I have no idea now. Now I don't know. Let's see. Click on it. Opening in Yelp. Give them a bad review.
I don't like that your name is the style of food. It confused me. 1 star.
Right?
Oh, God. I just went down some random stairs and there's a creeper staring at me. And he's not coming after me. He's just staring.
Randolph Road?
That's in Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, Randolph Road is actually in my fire department.
Oh, there's another one over here. There's multiples. Annapolis Road?
That's probably in Annapolis, which is out near Baltimore.
Yeah.
So yeah, she means outskirts, as in not in DC. Granted, I will admit, Randolph Road is someplace I respond to at my fire department. We're talking, 8 miles outside of the city, so not far. So I mean that's a definition of outskirts, is an acceptable definition. But that's why I always ask, is it really in DC or is it outside of DC?
Right. Yeah, I didn't ask the right questions. I was more interested in the food, though, I guess.
Teppanyaki sounds teppanyaki.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a style of food, though.
Yeah, so what is the style? It says.
Let me go back to the Googles. Let's just look up teppanyaki. Teppanyaki is a style of Japanese cuisine that uses an iron griddle to cook food. The word teppanyaki is derived from teppan, which means iron plate, and yaki, which means grilled, broiled, or pan-fried.
I mean, so is this similar to
it almost looks like those places that do the shit right in front of you. Yeah.
The hell is it called? Benihana.
Yeah, the pictures I'm looking at are that, basically.
Yeah, so maybe Benihana is a teppanyaki restaurant. I just never knew that term of teppanyaki.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But I will tell you, if that's what teppanyaki is, sign me up. Benihana is delicious.
Yeah, I like those places. Though you are playing a little bit for the show and not the food sometimes.
Right, and I will say it's kind of annoying when you go to Benihana and you have to order something and he cooks it for you. We went to Jamaica for my sister's wedding when she got married way back when, and it was an all-inclusive resort, and one of the fancy restaurants they had there, you had to make reservations to, but it was included as long as you made reservations to it, was a Japanese steakhouse. And since it was all-inclusive, you didn't have to order anything. You got to eat everything. He just cooked it all, and
That's
you got
cool.
to eat all of it. We went there 3 times in the 4 days that we were there. Like, my family, we just kept making reservations because it was so good.
I mean, it's included too. Might as well, right?
Yep. Hell yeah, it was absolutely delicious.
Well, on that note, I think we should leave the people here and hungry.
All right, guys, go get some food.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.